Greetings, salutations. I put on my little hat. I'm a wait for a few seconds, cause I wanna try to build up a crowd, build up the audience, cause I feel like this is something that we need to do. I feel like this is something that we need to do as Black folk. I'm just gonna wait for a few seconds because I've been thinking about this shit. I've been up since like 1 o'clock, and I've been thinking about this shit. I really feel like Black folk, skin folk, we need this. We need this shit. Let me just go ahead on and say it. I feel, y'all, if y'all read my post, I feel like we need to develop a fucking plan. We constantly going to church. We constantly going to all these churches and we paying our tithe and offering and all of this stuff like that, but we get nothing. We don't get anything out of it. We don't. I said, you know what? My bestie was like, well, they have schools. I was like, that's cool. Schools are cool. I said, but I still feel like we are just like what they planned for us to do. We still segregated. We still segregated. But we don't have skills. How many people at your church? How many people at your church are roofers? How many people at your church are, realtors? How many people at your church are accountants? I mean, seriously, how many people? We're going to have to start doing better. If you got that in your church, I mean, how many roofers? How many plumbers do you know? How many at your church? We can all ride by and we can all go to church and look good and dress the part. We can all do that. We can all look good. We can all go and shop. But how many people in your church know how to sew? How many people at your church know how to plant, know how to garden? How many people at your church? How many people know how to airbrush? How many people know how are artists? How many people at your church know how to dance? What I'm saying, I keep saying your church because I feel like say for instance, it's like neighborhoods for the most part. Let's just say your church is in North Memphis. And let's say, and it's a medium-sized church or whatever. But the people in that church, they have a fucking skill. They know how to cut hair. Let's just say you have one skilled barber at your church teaching all the other folks how to cut hair properly. See, how come we can't buy land with these tithe and offering? Man, I can't get an amen. I'm like, I see this shit in my head so clearly. It's like in my head, I can see somebody at the church, whatever church it is, buying up a little piece of land, and then here it is, they building apartments. They're building condominiums. They're building all of these things. This is your church though. This is your church, folk. You don't have to ask folks for money. You don't even have to ask the pastor this time to pay your light bill, because you know what? If you constantly going to this church and you paying your tithe and offering, you live on the church's property or whatever the situation is, man, that's it. That's why I'm talking about the church. We got to be more effective. We have to be more effective because we can't constantly keep going to these churches talking about folks. We can't constantly keep going to church talking about we saved, we Christian and all of that shit. We can't constantly keep going to these churches and returning the same way with extra stories. Well, I heard such and such pregnant now. All that shit, we don't need to be talking about all of that. We don't need to be talking about that bullshit. We get sidelined. I'm sitting there saying in 2 more years, we black folks, skin folk, would have been in America for 400 fucking years. 1619 to 2019. That equals 400 fucking years, and we still ain't moved. I'm trying to say we need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to stop going to these fucking churches. You know what? I don't have a problem with whatever church you go to, whatever denomination, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is us taking up for them. We'll be the first one to co-sign, yeah, he ain't doing shit. Well, you know what? Why don't we build our own communities? We can start with the fucking churches. Y'all keep... I don't even want to be exercised about it. So I'll just say, I think that's a clever way to be able to start our economy. I was looking at on Facebook. Y'all know I don't go out too often. I promise you, I don't go out too often, but I will support your stuff. I will spread it across. I tell any and everybody. I might even send some money, whatever. But my whole thing is this: why not start with the church? You already go to church. You already be like, I'm late. I'm going to be late. Let me hurry up. Put on your shoes, boy. Comb your hair, girl. All of that shit you did. You do all of that just to get to church, just to listen to a preacher preach to you about a God that allowed you to be killed, to be hung, to be poisoned, all of this shit. But we'll say, no, this too black. This too black. Well, fuck that. God made us this. God made us this, and I love my fucking skin. What I'm trying to say is, and I don't hate anybody. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a sexist. I'm not, I'm not a xenophobe or anything like that. I love people. Love all God's creation. But what I'm saying is, I ain't finna go to your church. I'm not joining a church that I don't have skills. Nobody have skills. Why everybody go to church gotta pray? Listen. I look at Bellevue Baptist. Bellevue Baptist, you can see from miles away. They have accountants. They have all of these things that are needed to push their ministry. And they also invest in other churches. What I'm saying is this. If your church doing well, I'll just say New Direction. I ain't got a problem with New Direction. I'm just using them as an example. So if somebody go to New Direction, I ain't talking about you or your pastor. What I'm saying is, I'm just taking a black church. Let's just say New Direction, they doing their thing, and then they say, you know what, I see another black church over here that's smaller than mine or ours, but we're going to lift them up. We're going to give them what they need. We're going to help them, whatever skills they have. We're going to mix it in with our skills. See, it's a chain reaction. It's a chain reaction. It can just flow. Just like sins do. Just like rumors do. They just flow. People believe them. People believe that shit. So what I'm saying is, think about it. You go to church every Sunday. You go to church, some of y'all go to church every time the church doors open. Well, we need to start expecting more out of ourselves first. Then our pastor, these leaders, church leaders and deacons and all that shit. Y'all human just like me. Y'all fuck up just like me. Some of y'all gay. Some of y'all done had sex right before y'all, all of this shit. Some of y'all did a whole lot of other sin before you even got up. So what I'm saying is, let's be productive. We can't allow little bitty shit to dissuade us from a plan and then enacting it, executing this shit. I'm just trying to say, I see it in my head, man. I'm trying to tell you, I see it in my head. I see these folks that know how to sew, do designs and shit. I see that shit happening in our church. Well, I don't go to a church, but I'm just saying, I see that happening in my church. I see that happening. I know everybody over at your church, they know how to cook. I see everybody, they know how to cook these goddamn everything, whatever. They talking about healthy eating. And all these things, we need to pump these churches up. We need to put ourselves, we need to be a part. That's what it is. We need to be a part of these churches. Yeah, that's what it is. We need to take part. I can't even blame the pastors and shit, deacons and elders. I can't even blame them so much. without blaming myself first. We need to hold them accountable, just like we do, like politicians. We feel like, why do we feel like we can't say shit to these politicians and they campaign to us to vote for them? Y'all see what I'm saying? That's real stupid. That's real stupid. We gotta get over this shit. If our pastors are not taking our churches, we're not having skills, we need to stop doing it. We need to vote them out. Vote them out. It's not a lifelong thing. Vote them out. Vote them out. Just vote them out. I think that's the only thing I really want to say, really. I think the church, y'all don't even know, but the slaves, some slaves, they used the church to get free. Yeah, this shit wasn't just a movie. That shit really happened. This shit really happened. They really used the church to get freedom. You know what the church is to me? Inspiration. That's what pastors are. They're inspirational. They're motivational speakers. We can call it what it is. We can call it what it is. They are motivational speakers. It's just me, just thinking that shit. But I really feel like, again, if your church masters something, roofing, accounting, whatever, teach the other church members that. Then spread that shit abroad. All of it's free. You go to Sunday school, you go to Bible study, you do all of that shit for free. You do all of that for free. You take your time out and you say, I'm going to go here from 6 to 7 or whatever. You do that. And then sometimes you still give an offering. Man, please. Peace.